Welcome to Toys of Primus, and in today's episode I will be doing a review for both Sonic and Shadow from the upcoming Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie. In my previous video, I recorded a toy hunt looking for the brand new Sonic 3 figures at my local Walmart. That's where I picked up these two figures from. Honestly, I was only expecting to find Sonic there because when I checked the website, it said they had Sonic in stock, but everything else was out of stock. The website was wrong because if you go back and look at my previous video, you see that they had a bunch of Sonics there. They had one Shadow. I think I picked up the last one, or maybe it was the only one they had stocked on the pegs. They had like one or two Tails, and no Knuckles, no Robotnik. So those were not found at my local Walmart. But they had the small, like, 2.5-inch figures of all of the characters except for Tails, which is odd. And they had a bunch of them too. So they had a bunch of Sonics, Shadows, Robotniks, Knuckles in the smaller scale, but no Tails, which was weird. They had a few of the plushies. So I was only going to pick up Sonic because I was only expecting to find Sonic, but I was like, you know what? If they have Shadow, I'm definitely buying him. And I just moved the other Sonics out of the way and saw Shadow, and I was like, oh, he's definitely coming home with me. So these are the only two from the Sonic 3 movie that I picked up for now. I have no clue if they're going to have Super Sonic in the movie in this scale. If they do, definitely buying it. Or Super Shadow, because that was a thing from the video games. And I'm trying to think if I have one of the Super Shadow action figures from the video games, because I have a bunch of other Sonic action figures, but they're based off the games and not the movies. These are the only ones I have based off the live action movies so far. But I do hope to get Knuckles, Tails, and Robotnik, which are shown on the back, except for Knuckles. He's the only one not shown on the back of these two boxes, but I'm pretty sure they have him in this scale. He would like to add him to the collection as well, along with the other ones I mentioned, Tails and Robotnik. So hopefully I can eventually get a hold of those. I'm pretty sure they will restock them on the Walmart website at some point. At least close to the movie release, they'll have a bunch of them on the website available. So I'll be picking those up, hopefully within the upcoming months. And again, I don't know if they're going to have Super Sonic or Super Shadow in the movie. If they do, that'll be a nice surprise. And if they make action figures of those characters in this scale, that will also be a nice surprise because I will be adding those to the collection as well. But on the back of the Sonic box, there we go, hold it up closer to the camera. It says, Sonic is on a roll. Saved the world twice, but who's counting? And has two besties for his team, but will they be enough to handle a devastating new threat? And of course, they are talking about Shadow. And for his description, it says, Shadow is a fierce and mysterious foe who's determined to accomplish his goals and won't let anything stand in his way. He's also going to be voiced by Keanu Reeves, which is awesome. Oh, by the way, yeah, he has his motorcycle in the movie, so I'm curious if they're going to release an action figure set with him and a motorcycle. I'm curious if they're going to release that at some point. All right, enough chattering. Let's open these guys up and take a look at them. For the scale, I said these were in the 5-inch scale. Just want to make sure I'm correct about that. I mean, if you count the top of Shadow's hair there, tippy top, it's almost close to 6, but no, it's technically around 5. Same thing with Sonic. Yeah, technically around 5, 5.5. But let's say 5. Okay. So, really cool detail. Attention to detail, I should say. Look at the red streaks on Shadow. And Sonic, of course, he has, not sure if that's dark blue or black strands of hair there in his fur. Of course, you can see the small tail on both characters. And of course, they have their appropriate sneakers. Very accurate to each character. Oh, look at that. Look at the... Oh, wow. The bottom of Sonic sneakers have some detailing on them. And they have peg holes, which is good. in case if you have any stands and you don't want them to fall over. I will say Shadow is slightly top heavy because of his giant head there. So I had to pose him in a way where he would balance really good. Or I can just dig in my box of action figure stands and, you know, put these guys into stands so they can actually be stable. So, which one do you guys want to look at first? Should we look at Shadow? Probably the main one you guys want to look at first here. Okay, so these movie figures have like a clear plastic piece on their eyes or over their eyes. And I think they did the same thing with the Mario movie figures, which I've seen in stores. I've been meaning to buy those since last year because they went on sale. And I have not bought them yet, but I do wish to get my hands on at least Mario, Luigi, maybe Princess Peach. I have Koopa, or not Koopa, Bowser, sorry. I have Bowser, the one that lights up and blows the steam out of the mouth. I have that one. I haven't reviewed it though. It's mint in box. But the head, oh wow, it's on a ball joint. So you can't really get him to look up because it's kind of hindered by all of this fur there on the back of his head. Right there, as you can see. Well, actually, yeah. Depending on how you position or have the head turned, you can kind of get him looking up just a tad bit. Down, left, right, which is pretty cool. And I think he has butterfly joints. Are those butterfly joints? They look like butterfly joints there. If I can get my camera to focus. Yeah, some butterfly articulation there. Articulation in the bicep areas, which, you know, you can rotate those. The elbows do bend, and the wrist. Yeah, some wrist articulation there, and they do pivot, which my camera could stop going out of focus. Jeez. Ugh, I need a new camera. But yeah, check that out. You can pivot the wrist, so you can have them hold maybe a small Chaos Emerald, if you wish to do so. And he has these articulated fist joints where they can open and close. That's pretty cool. So you can, you know, have them both open, actually. See, this is why I'm wondering if they're going to release another one with the motorcycle, so you can have them sit down on the motorcycle and have them hang on to the handlebars. So I wonder if they're going to do that. But that's pretty cool. So you have articulation for those fist joints there. So, you know, quite a bit of articulation for the arms and the hands. Pretty nice. And as for, oh, of course, the mid-torso section that does rotate at the waist joint there. That does turn, as you can see. For the legs, I can't... I'm trying to see if I can get him to kick out. Doesn't seem like you want to... Well, I can get him to do a split, I guess. Yeah. And, well, he's staying balanced. Yeah. So I can get him to do a split, but I can't get it to kick all the way forward or back just because of the way the joints are, so that's kind of weird. But he has a cut right there at the thigh area, so you can rotate that leg. The knees do bend. You have a nice range of bending motion there for the knees. So, you know, you get him in a cool, like, running pose, or Shadow doesn't really run. He kind of skates. It's kind of weird. So he kind of like skates with the special boots or shoes that he have. Let's see, for the lower feet joint, I want to say they rotate, but they're not turning on mine, so it could possibly be a bit stiff on my figure, but they do pivot, as you can see. So if you have them in, like, let's say a jumping pose, and, you know, you could prop them up in an action figure stand and just have it hold in that position right there. In a sort of like an action jumping pose. But I think that's about it for Shadow. Covered just about everything. I mean, it's Shadow. What else do you want? But I am kind of surprised by the amount of articulation from Jakks Pacific's Alright, even though I have other Sonic figures from that company, but I have them mint in box, they're not opened yet. Alright, so let's take a look at Sonic. So Sonic, I'm assuming, is the same. Yeah, head is on a ball joint, rotate. He does have the same clear plastic piece over the eyes right there. Give it that glossy effect, which is pretty cool. He also has the butterfly joints right there. Looks like he has the same amount of articulated joints as Shadow. So I don't really have to go over that again too much. But yeah, you know, turn at the bicep area, bend the elbows, the wrist do rotate. Articulated hands like that. So you can have them hold something or grip onto something and close that back in case you want to have them punch. Bang, bang. Pretty cool. Turns at the waist joint there. Of course, that might break up, you know, might break up some of the sculpting with the way they have the paint there for his fur, but, you know, always nice to have more articulated joints. And again, the legs doesn't seem like it want to kick forward or back, but you can have them do a split. Ah, bang. Has a thigh cut, so you can rotate that leg joint. Knees do bend and rotate. For the feet area, you know, pivot side to side, up and down, which is kind of stiff on that side. Maybe on this side. Ah, okay, so this side is kind of loose or looser. I can pivot that one up and down. So yeah, you know, basic but good articulated joints for these type of action figures. You know, they're nothing too fancy. They're made for, I guess, the kids' lines of toys, but for adult collectors or for collectors who love Sonic, I would say these are worth adding to the collection. And again, balancing them might be a bit tricky because of their top-heavy heads. So it's up to you if you want to put these guys on a stand because they have peg holes on the bottom of their feet, or if you want to use, like, let's say, one of these type of stands that I have with Deadpool here and my Superman figure in the background. These are really good stands. I have a box full of these. Yeah. They need to be assembled, though. So they come with, like, their own screwdriver and screws, and they're easy to assemble. So, alright. I am very impressed with my very first Sonic the Hedgehog movie figures from the upcoming Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Sonic and Shadow here. Both really great looking figures. I think these retailed for about $10 each. Again, I'll have to go back and look through the toy hunting video I did, or you guys can watch that if you wish to do so. Because I did make sure I pointed the phone at the price tag to get the price of those, and I think they're like around $10 or more. But they have smaller ones for like $4, $4 to $5. I am looking forward to collecting Tails, Knuckles, Robotnik, and that's about it, I think. Yeah, just those 3 remaining characters. And of course, possibly a Super Sonic and Super Shadow if they're going to be presented in the movie. I don't know yet. Haven't seen the movie yet. I am also curious if they're going to release a set of Shadow with his motorcycle, or if they're going to release the motorcycle separately to go with this Shadow. I would assume they would have to release it in a set, right? Because I'm going to assume this Shadow is going to be difficult to track down by collectors. But anyways, I did get these from the Walmart, from my local Walmart store. They are listed on the Walmart website. Most of them are currently out of stock, but they might restock them. They always do. So if you can be patient and, you know, want to wait till they restock more of these figures, then you can do that, or go out hunting like I did. I went out super early in the morning, and I'm glad I did because they only had one Shadow on the pegs. If I would have waited much later, I'm certain he would have been gone. But yeah, these are nice Shadow. Oh, I almost said Shadow. these are nice Sonic the Hedgehog 3 action figures from Jakks Pacifics. And I guess I could show off the packaging one last time. Let's see if I have enough space here. Yeah, in the background, sort of. So that's what the box looks like for both characters. Very happy to have these as part of my Sonic collection. And I will be tracking down the rest. Possibly through the website, because I don't think I'm going to get lucky again and find the other ones if I go out toy hunting. Alright guys, thanks for watching this review, and I will see you in the next one later. Stay awesome.